Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, my Impact Wrestling fam? Welcome to episode 148 of the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. My name is Geoff, and alongside me, as always, is the lollipop to that other cage dancing woman. It's Lucha, everybody. What's going on? What's going on, man? I don't know.
Yes, cage dancers are back. Love it.
Hey, Tasha put it out there, man. Manifesting it on Twitter, man. So let's make it happen. Guys, we're coming off Turning Point. We're coming off a UK tour, and we're heading into a 2024 of what looks to be a very exciting stuff. One thing in particular that obviously we'll talk about throughout. But we're going to go over Turning Point, hit up our plugs really quick, shoot the shit, and just kind of have a banter. We'll see if the chat lights up. Wasn't really planning on, well, we did plan on having it live, but it was kind of, we literally got on here about 10 minutes ago or so. So we'll talk about everything, and then we're going to answer the comments you guys left on Reaction. Speaking of Reaction, speaking of us doing a show together, or 147, we'll say, I want to thank you guys for making them the top 10 in watched, and then top 5 in likes on both of them, man. As Impact grows, we will, one fan at a time, one friend at a time. That's all it's about. So make sure you spread the word, hit thumbs up, hit subscribe, and if this isn't the voice that you want to hear about Impact Wrestling or TNA in the new year, check out everybody else out there. Let's just keep expanding this community. Let's go. Lucha, what are you most looking forward to talking about tonight? Let's start with that, because we really haven't got a chance to shoot the shit.
I mean, real shit. Just more talk on the, we talked a lot about, how dope it would be if TNA came back. Right. And TNA is coming back. So just the talk now, the conversation changes to how dope it's gonna be.
It's funny you say that, because there's going to be some comments we hit that, of course, are going to hit the TNA name thing. And I try to stay off the old net, not too much at least. I check in, whatever here and there. But as far as feeling the temperament of it, so seeing in some of these comments and then seeing some of the reactions from wrestling personalities have been interesting when it comes to TNA. But I am excited. We are in that now because it's coming compared to us wishing. Now we're granted that wish. So yeah, it's a little surreal, man. And that's one of the things about the UK tour that just made me so happy. Is yes, we could talk about all the things, production, or this kind of being our roster, their roster kind of thing, coasting to the new year, whatever you want to say. Dude, but we got the TNA chance.
Dude, when I tell you that they could have had one light on in that entire spot for all shows, and all we see is like fucking Hannafan and Ray Walt on commentary. That's all we see.
Hey man, it'd
and
still be a good time.
TNA, yeah, but if they could have gave me all of that whole shit thing where that's all we see. Right. If I still had those TNA chants, it was all worth it.
Man, and that's why I wanted to kind of set it up like that, is because normally we would go to the this, that, nitpicky thing, but when those chants are hitting, when it was Thursday or if it was Friday, oh man, what a great time to be an Impact fan. So
and for me, like when I went to Atlanta for Summer Sizzler,
right.
Of course, the glare, blocked all of that. But it was a Summer Sizzler. It was a Summer Sizzler flyer. I was there, you know what I'm saying, and I tried to start a TNA chant, and that shit fell on deaf ass ears. Even so much so to where like there was a kid behind me, like I'm saying TNA, the kid is like, yeah, that's not this.
Right.
Like so uneducated in the matter. But the people that was with them, they was like, actually, no, this was TNA, but it's not TNA anymore. They educated the kid. But it's still, that chant fell on deaf ears. And now here we are, and you can't not hear it.
But
it's
not no
bringing
more,
a tear to my eye.
Yeah, definitely, especially after episode 1000 and me venting and not thinking it would ever have a chance. So wrong, but I'm so happy to be wrong. And yeah, there's a lot of different perspectives on it. points of view, I guess. Then we'll hit a bunch of them, but I know we're excited. How are you guys feeling? We'll get to your guys' comments on it. Want to plug everything that's on this channel, of course. Coming back Tuesday for another episode of LL TNA, Lucha, myself, and Johnny. This time is a double feature, so we got this week and then followed by the next one. It's going to be a one night only of TNA. If we were to book a one-time only, using rosters, the roster of all the companies and pulling some favors, we're going to put a DOA in place. We're going to backstage announcers, in-ring interviewers, all that jazz. We're going to hit it all up. It's going to be a good time, even if the green medicine isn't your thing. And then, of course, Go Power Rankings will be back Tuesday night, so look out for that, 7 p.m. And hopefully we're bringing some more things back. We're working on some stuff. We were talking about it quickly beforehand. So look out for everything. And also look out for Deep Fear, Sharks versus Narcs. Tony Khan creative movie in a nutshell. Sharks on cocaine. All right, anyways. Lucha, does that make you want to go see Deep Fear?
If Shark Boy ain't in it, I don't want to see it.
Fair enough. Let's get right into it, man. We've shot the shit. We shot the shit. Is that a thing?
And it smells disgusting.
No, that's not. If Johnny was here, I could say speaking of smelling disgusting. But the first match up here, because we're gonna start with the pre-show, if you will, the countdown. We're gonna get Grado and his surprise. the Grado was the reference for Johnny. Grado making his return. He made a return on Thursday, getting a pinfall on Trey Miguel. So the great and powerful Grado on a roll here, and he's gonna pick up another victory, teaming with the War Machine Rhino against Zane Grief and Don Flamenco from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, I believe. I don't even have names, man. No, I know one was Mike D because they shored that up later. But Rhino wins with a gore. We get Grado back on TV. I'm going to be real, Lucha. When Johnny mentioned the Grado thing and TNA, I was like, no, Grado was interesting.
I fuck with Grado. I mean, I don't, but I do.
I wanted to admit that. I wanted to say that how I was wrong for agreeing or saying I enjoyed him thoroughly, man, for what he does. He does it well. So I enjoyed Grado. But your thoughts on any of the two cats? One of them, like I said, Mike D, who won a gut check. So we'll hit that in a little bit. But thoughts on this match? Did you catch the pre-show? No, why do I even? Moving on.
I mean, look. Sometimes I will catch a pre-show or want to catch a pre-show, and then I check the pre-show, and they don't give me what the fuck I wanted to see.
Oh, man, Bound for Glory. Well, here's the one.
It had to happen. It had to happen, so I'm not salty.
Right, it did. But here's why I thought it had to happen that you needed to watch the pre-show. Our new signee, Leon Slater, is in action against our old signee, Mark Haskins. Good to see him still getting some work there, man. And Leon Slater picks up the win with the Swanton 450.
I saw the Swanton 450. That shit is impressive.
And I challenged everyone on reaction to help me out here, because when Craig originally interviewed him, I looked up some things, some YouTube Googled, and got the highlights. But to see him in action is, okay, he's 19, so you're not going to put too much. But these are he is the exact kind of signing I feel like that TNA need to have. We had PCO and it made sense, but Leon Slater being a young name in the game that could really develop within Impact, that just feels right.
X Division champion Leon Slater. I don't want to put too much on my man, but that does have a nice ring to it.
It does. And it'd be pretty cool, man. It'd be pretty cool to... I don't want to say for this reason, because the kid is talented on his own right. But it'd be cool to make these... The history of Scott putting a contract on someone's back, or letting someone put the contract on his back and sign it, has been pretty good, right? Josh, Bailey, right? Now Leon Slater. Yeah. I'm just saying, to have that continue, it's a really cool moment. So hopefully that lineage.
So instead of like with Triple H and his handshake picture, that's that Scott thing, the contract on the back.
Right, that's the sign of ultimate respect if you're going to be something.
You want to win the X belt, sign your contract on Scott's back.
Right.
It's going to happen.
Other than that, I don't really got much for the pre-show. A lot of TNA talk, which we love. And Raywell, of course, talking nonsense. But first up, Lucha, something we also been clamoring about. It was in and out. We thought it might happen. Or it did happen, kind of. Team Canada, or at least the Canadian boys, as they were being referenced. Eric Young and Josh Alexander are going to take on Subculture, picking up the win over Subculture after losing against Motor City on Thursday. But your thoughts on the potential of keeping Josh and EY together? Is this the start of finally getting that TNA nostalgia in Team Canada?
As far as, you tell me you got Team Canada and you're going to tell me who the tag team is going to be of the stable. Didn't think Josh and Eric would be the tag team. I knew they would both be in it.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that would be the tag. Maybe it's just for right now. Maybe the Maple Leaf Mafia is just trying to grow. And, this is the beta version. So we got some time to let it build and see what happens. But the matching gear.
Yeah. It was a start. Yeah. I'm a stickler for the gear, so, we'll keep upping it. But as they get close, as they form a team, real quick, we've talked about it. We beat this horse if you're a watcher of the show, but we're going to talk about it regardless for those who are new. Thank you for watching. Team Canada, it's got to be Josh. It's got to be EY as the new Scott. He was giving advice right before the match, too. Makes sense. We always say Bailey, and we have some shakeup in the roster. There'll be some more, but I think for me, we need a female in there. We need a knockout. Who is that? Taylor Wilde is kind of doing. She's without.
I mean, yeah, they kind of put the kibosh on the Covenant, seems.
Yeah, and then I don't know what's up with Kenny King, but he was eliminated pretty quickly, and you remember the whole ROH reference thing. So who knows? Love Kenny to stick around, but if not, I'm gonna go Sheldon Jean. I'm gonna go Taylor Wilde. I'm gonna go PCO, Bailey, and Josh and EY. We'll see.
I wouldn't be mad at the tag team of EY and PCO. You know what I'm saying? Because that gives me. I feel like with PCO, because I'm such a not fan of PCO. Like I rock with them, but I don't at the same time.
Right.
And I feel like the part of me that rocks with them, having someone like EY by his side to like kind of sort of mouthpiece him a little bit and kind of like wrangle him, that's just too perfect for me.
That's the key. That's the keyword, wrangle. Because I could see him with they all wear the Team Canada tracksuit, and EY's got him by the thing, and not a heel way, just kind of a wrangling him to go do this, go do that. I think it'd be a funny moment that Impact really tends to hit. There you go. Canada. That's good shit. But Subculture picking up the loss here. I kind of blew over this on reaction. I apologize to our buddy Millard, but mentioning he already thinks Subculture signed. I don't know, man. I know it takes a bit to get visas done, and I wouldn't put it past Impact because it makes a smart, makes a good. I don't know. It's kind of the same thing with Leon I wanted to mention, and I kind of went off the rails there. It's good to go in these markets and find talent that you could take along for the ride, but still do, and I don't want to take away from their talents, but do a good service. Like, hey, we got two guys for a tag team, a knockout, and an up-and-comer in Leon Slater out of this one tour. I think it would be really smart if they did sign them. They always put on good matches. Kind of Generation Me of now for us, like that kind of vibe. I don't know what they will become, but whatever. But do you think Subculture is signed? It's just a matter of time? I mean, they haven't left the roster page, or is it just kind of a we're there, so they're here kind of thing?
I think this was like maybe phase 2 of the courtship, honestly. You know, they brought him in first. It's like, you know, here's what we got here. Yeah, you can go ahead, sleep in our room, you know, right. Sleep in the bed, kick your feet up on the couch, you know, take our tag titles.
Here, fuck my wife.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead. And then, we left. It wasn't, necessarily like we couldn't get them. It just didn't happen.
Right.
And maybe this is like step 2 of the courtship. It's like, look, bro, we back. Y'all trying to pull up and work. And I
TNA.
think I kind of feel like what's gonna get them signed without skipping, not even discounting their talent, because they're fucking. I remember when what's the guys Will Ospreay's cats
United Kingdom? No, United
United Empire, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
The 2 guys they got, and then they signed to AEW, and I was kind of bummed. I was
Aussie
like, damn.
Open.
Yeah, Aussie Open. I was like, damn, they would have been fire in Impact. Then like 2 weeks later, Subculture pulled. I was like, yo, fuck Aussie Open.
I remember the text. You were like, oh, I forgot. I'm moving on.
Yeah, like, no, they're fire.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be a good pickup. I hope they do stick around. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into that. They don't, they got to move to the States. They got a visa thing to work through. It's all gotta all work out for everybody, but I think they'd definitely be a welcomed addition, especially since we're losing some tag teams. We are gaining some in some ways, building some new ones. We'll see what the landscape looks like, but yeah, definitely a welcomed addition if they do sign. Next,
I want them to stick around. I want them to stick around for my trios division.
right, because more belts is what we need right now. Although,
damn.
They keep feeding that narrative to you. I understand why you still want it. We're good at making little staples.
It's not like it's at this point. I'm not reaching in the air for nothing. Like there's shit that I'm grabbing.
Right.
So
next up is Gisele Shaw, and she's gonna pick up a win over Alex Windsor. My first look at Alex Windsor, like what I saw.
Same.
But Gisele getting a victory here. Kind of getting back on the winning track, which is good. Hey, Millard, what's going on, buddy? See Io in there as well.
It seemed like this was more of a Gisele's. It's like Gisele's return to wrestling. It seems. By that I mean it seemed like she was more. Her in-ring style was more based off character. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like she was a little toned down a bit, and I think. Prior to this match, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this match, she kind of... Because I saw her hit a couple springboards. I was like, I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, I thought the commentary team did a good job of putting that over as well. As she's more focused because she has to be focused. There's no, people on the outside that can help her and all that. The odds aren't in her favor. It's a one-on-one match. I really like that. And I think it's smart because although I think the Shaw Entourage should stay together, who knows what happens when we get back in the loop of things or who's on the damn roster. But yeah, I thought this was good, and I think the little break from the Shaw Entourage lets her kind of go. Next up, Simon Miller from What Culture. My knowledge of this kind of stuff is very limited. Actually, let me say that this is how limited it is. Mentioned Tom Campbell of Cultaholic the past couple weeks. And there he is, just ring announcing Turning Point. I had no damn clue. And here's Simon Miller talking elephants. There's the animal he likes to have as pets because they're thin-skinned. I will say this. The match isn't next, but I will talk about it. Let's talk about it, Lucha, because once again, not in the thick of things online, but I saw Simon Miller put out the tweet of Joe Hendry's "Come out and fight me" thing. Then I saw Joe Hendry respond, and this is right after actually Tom Campbell in Hendry's food fight, where Hendry went on for, and I love Hendry. Look, once he has that turn, eventually stay where he is now, but once he gets into that heel turn and is just, on top of everything. He mentioned, by the way, in that food fight, that work rate is what he's working on, which I love to hear because we've talked about that. To get him to that next stop, and then when he turns heel and he's just vicious, he could be that next Brit World Champion for us.
For sure.
And that, add to that lineage, which will be dope. I really believe in Joe. I really believe in Joe Hendry, but there you go. But when he was doing the food fight with Tom, he was talking about, I read the comments and people shit on me, And I was like, damn, man, you gotta stop reading this shit. Like, just believe in yourself. Believe the gimmick, brother.
Gotta believe in 252 pounds of pure motivation, bro.
Right. There you go, man. A man who created a tag team that captured the hearts of everybody in 5 weeks. He's got to start believing the gimmick. So when I saw this, I was like, no, Joe, why are you being so thin-skinned, man? Luckily, it was a work and I'm an idiot. But we'll get to that match. Did you follow any of that when it happened, or did you just...
Yeah, I was hip to the game, and I know about Simon Miller. He's like one of the few reasons why I do fuck with What Culture. Like the up down joints, I did kind of fuck with. He was the only one that was doing. He's the only one on the channel that was doing anything on Impact. Like a year or so ago. You know,
so he was actually covering when no one else was.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like he was doing, it wasn't like weekly, but he would do up downs of like pay-per-views and certain episodes of Impact and shit. So I'm like, okay, cool, you fuck with him.
So he just finds the positive and like that's what I remember him doing. Like, he's just in front of a screen.
Yeah, I fucks with Simon Miller and the Y series. You know what I'm saying? Like I fucked with those. It just threw me off though because I came into Turning Point when it was live at that match. I was like, holy shit, it's Ryback.
Dude, this is I told you before the show, you're going to have to carry me on a lot of things. I don't have many notes, but the one thing I have is the Simon Miller had the Ryback starter kit for this match.
And we didn't even communicate on that.
I was like, damn, what the... He just looked like a deflated Ryback. Dobby the Brain in the building. What's up, buddy? Miller did a real solid promo. He used to do up and downs for Impact until they just weren't getting enough views. He always has positive stuff about Impact. That's awesome, man. And look, these little big things, the rub of Busted Open Radio, the rub of What Culture and help me out here. What's the
Cultaholic?
one? Cultaholic. Thank you. These are good things. It's good synergy, man. They might not be, get us the viewers overnight, but they are the smart things to be doing business with. Let's move on. Speaking of, let's continue our business here. Rich Swann is going to defeat Trey. So Trey picking up 2 losses here in singles action, which is okay. He's lost his tag team title. He's been in a tag team, so we could spin that a little bit. That's why he lost to Grado. He was normally attacked. Rich, no harm, no foul, but Rich is going to pick up the win. Kind of controversial fashion, right?
Yeah. That was like a 2.99 that got counted as a 3.
Yeah, but was it to you? Here's my first thought was, you remember how they got us on Kylan and Jody on BTI not too long ago, and they made it into a thing. But that was intentional. Was this intentional to you? Does it look like it's going to continue, or?
I think they kind of have to have it continue now, just so no one looks stupid.
Well, the problem.
So then Trey can still, be that shit heel. It's like, hey, not only was I by myself out of my element, yeah, I know I'm a 2-time, 3-time ex-champ and a generational talent, but I'm a tag team wrestler now, and I was out my element, and the referee screwed me. So, like, he's got a gripe. I feel like they have to lean into it.
I agree with you in every sense of that. My question to you, though, is since Chicago tapings are now going to be in our November schedule, do they have time to make... So that's my question was, okay, was this planned? They have something set up for it? Because they're going to show it on the... that was my only thing.
I think this might be some shit that doesn't wrap around until, like...
the next tape.
Yeah. We'll tie it in. Someone will, pop a shot at him about it.
Yeah. The Rascals just attack Rich randomly.
Shit, and plus, for all we know, what I'm saying, they probably know that Trey was going to take 2 L's, so they probably put it in the fucking promo in Chicago.
Right, that's hey, you got to pre-planning, right? Here's to hoping. Either way, I'm glad to see Rich get a win, man. I was actually telling my cousin we were watching it. I love Rich. Bell to bell, whatever. Hey, we got a new name. Ants 9 the Phenom. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Rich always has the stop and go. He's the glue guy. You could put him in the X division, you put him in the tag, you put him in the world where you need him, the DMC. Wherever you need Rich, he'll go. And then you start a tag team with him, Willie leaves. You start a tag team with him, Sammy leaves. I just want Rich to get something that he could bite into. Too talented to always just come out there and dance, do a match, and then kind of win.
I mean, my man is a Triple Crown champ, so like, what more do you want from him at this point?
What have you done for me lately? And it's not him, it's what
That's
can
fair.
they do for him lately? I don't know.
That's fair.
But we're going to continue. Dani Luna's getting a promo, and she's Dani Luna, and she's not Jordynne Grace. And she is going to take a juggernaut driver. Other than that, man, I thought it was a hard-hitting match. It was a good time, but I don't know what happened there. But Jordynne Grace victorious on her way. We'll spoil it because we all know the ending here. Trinity versus Jordan locked in for Hard to Kill January 13th, which is going to be, we haven't had it yet. We said Trinity hasn't gone through the whole roster, and this is one of the big ones that needs to happen. So I'm excited for that. Your thoughts on because we already talked about Subculture. She's obviously part of it. But what about Dani being in the knockouts solely? You know what I mean by herself, solely in the knockout.
That was what I was when I was too high to verbalize when we were talking about Subculture earlier. One of the big selling points for them in Impact will probably be her real shit. Like just no shade to the boys in the tag, but this is Impact, and the women are like,
if she shines, they shine. Yeah,
exactly.
She could be the forefront of it.
And these Jordan comparisons were wild. I mean, not saying they're off base, but they were non-existent before. Like I've never compared Dani Luna to Jordynne Grace.
Those shits were manifested. They were putting that in the universe. Now I get it because they do call her the powerhouse of Subculture. Haha, whatever. So if she is sticking around, smart to start a nugget like that. And then maybe down the road, if Subculture is doing their thing and she doesn't have a permanent tag team partner, that's something you can kind of, Jordan needs a tag team partner, Dani Luna kind of steps in kind of thing. But I agree with Dobby the Brain Heenan there. Don't think Jordan used to getting a ton of girls similar to her size in the driver. I think that's all it came down to. Yeah, she was, but it worked out. I thought the match was good as well, and it was good to see Dani against someone who can just eat, and vice versa.
That was a stiff ass match though.
Yeah.
Also in the same, like they were slugging, and I loved it.
I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't see women like slugging it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like we talked about when originally talked about MK Ultra. Like, should they be a thing? Everyone's saying Jody and Killer Kelly because we want Masha to do. I get all the whatever, but the point we kept driving was this is something completely different. Two different kinds of styles joining together, put out something new. And same with Dani Luna here. It's cool to bring in someone with a completely different style. I don't know. And because I feel that we're getting to the point where when we head into TNA, and we'll talk about that because they're talking about cleaner production and smoother and quicker and for hard hitting, you kind of want to check off all your boxes. And did we have another person besides Jordan who's a powerhouse that can go head to head with her? Maybe you put a little fire into Havoc and she's Havoc again, but there's no one that can eat
Island
that.
King was the only one that kind of came close.
Hey, there you go. That's a good one too. But anyways, talking in circles. Next is the match though of Simon Miller versus Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry going to pick up the win with the standing ovation, but we do get a video from Joe Hendry and a picture of Simon Miller when he was in Nickelback. So that was entertaining. And
I'm mad I missed that part, to be honest.
Did you miss it?
I don't know. I did. I don't know where the hell I was for that. That might have been after I came in.
Okay. I don't have it here, but I know it happened. People help me here. But yeah, no, he did like a little song, and it was about Simon having a feathered. He looked like Chad Kroger.
I'm sure it was a top 5 hit in the UK, because if there's one thing that Joe Hendry's not gonna do and that's miss on these diss records.
It's something we all look. It's hard to do that every time to hit it out of the park or make someone laugh just out of just pressing play on a video you made. But he continues to do it, man, and it was no exception. So had a good time. Love Joe Hendry. We already talked about it when we talked about it earlier, but onward and forward for Joe Hendry. And Working on his work rate is something I love to hear. Millard saying, Jeff, Scott talked about being a game changer in the future. I'm a little crazy thinking he might mean working with GCW in some way going forward. I don't know. It's kind of the same. We talked about the AEW. I know it's a different situation, but let's let TNA cook before we're giving our rub. And I know it sounds whatever, but our rub to other people. Because I think if done right, and I think they will do it right, starting in January, we will be a game changer, and we don't need GCW or AEW or anyone else to prove that, but something to think about. We're going to recap Gutcheck and Mike D, who was in that opening match, and Harley Hudson were the two winners. So I like how they word this, Lucha, because typically we think Gutcheck and we think, oh, they're going to be on TV tomorrow, but this tells you that, hey, this is, you get to work, you come to the States, or actually they don't even go to the States, they're going to go to Canada, get to work out with the reps from Impact, do some training, and it gives you the opportunity for a signing. I like this a lot better because it does give a spotlight to two individuals here, while also seeing what they're about, not just handing over a contract to like Ric Flair did to a Alex Silver or whatever when their Gutcheck originally happened. No offense to him. But do you know anything about them prior? Or is this your first taste of both Harley Hudson and Mike D? Zingrief.
Yeah, this is my first introduction to both. I'm not too up on the UK scene, TBH.
Yeah. I was saying this is how it should be. See if they're full contract worthy. Yeah, because timing is everything, man. It'd be nice.
And they said it was like a developmental contract.
Yeah, which I like because we've had some people like, and I think the comments will hit up on him, but like Shogun and Jack Price has gotten some play, and Hotch as well. But there's been some oh, cool, and then you don't see them for a while, or they get one random match. So I like that going into it, we know where they are and where they, it's just a foot in the door. Next up is Kaz, the team of the futures. Kaz is jumping in for Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley still hurt. And it's Kaz and Saban going to pick up a loss here against Moose and Myers. Moose picking up the victory on Kaz with the spear. Love to see Moose and Myers together, man. And good match with a lot of ability to use the letters TNA. So I like it.
Fact. I mean, the fact that Moose and Myers didn't come out together kind of threw me off a little bit.
You think it's the entryway? Can't do their pose together. It's a very small, like one step off.
You can make that shit work, bro.
Maybe they want people to do the Moose. Who knows?
Or, Moose got to move his shoulders to the moon. We don't do this anymore. We just
breathe heavily like Triple H. What you thought? What's there to say about this, man? Good times. Good to have all the references on there. Good to see Kaz and Saban in the futures and have commentary pick up on that. I just think. Here's my question for you. I obviously know you obviously just talked about their entrance, but you want to keep Moose and Myers together for the long haul?
I'm interested in keeping them together. Because just the thought of them versus ABC, like the build will be hilarious because like they can pull off the fact that we're just, the bigger versions of you.
That's fair. I like it because it's very outsiders-ish. Moose is getting a World Heavyweight title match in January. Myers should still be going for a DMC or something, but they both are vets that hold it down, that can individually big player. I like this, man. I do.
I honestly thought like we were heading on a road to where Myers would like challenge for the case. You know what I'm saying? Before Moose like lays down the challenge. Yeah, I thought we were going to have some tension, which is why I was a little bummed about it. I'm like, because I know the breakup is coming. But we didn't get that, which makes me happy, but I'm like...
Where does it go?
Yeah.
Tag team gold,
Are we gonna run domination? Like, I wouldn't be mad if Moose has the world title, Myers got the DMC, and they got the tag titles. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that.
I mean, sounds pretty damn good to me. I love I won't talk too much because I know there is a Myers, I think, reference in the comments, but I love them together. I do feel that vibe of them, and you could split them up, keep them together, use them wherever you need them to be. Next up, Gail is going to be the special guest referee for the Knockouts World Title match. Trinity tapping out Deonna again. I think Deonna saying bye, bye, bye as she taps out. I don't know, man. Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall here.
I really enjoyed the match between Taya Valkyrie and Tessa Blanchard for the Knockouts title with Gail Kim as the referee.
Is that what this was to you? Was that this?
It might as fucking well have been same thing, Gail referee, Deonna playing the role of Tessa.
But
so
still a good match though.
Defeat. Yeah, it was a good.
Okay, let's
match,
get that out of the way. Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
it's a good match. No salt being thrown, but it was just as a fan of the Diamond, what I'm saying, I was kind of a little hurt. Probably thought too deep into it. I'm like, man, y'all trying to replace my girl's legacy and shit.
She ain't coming back. I wanted to. We'll talk about that off camera. Yeah, is what it is. Well, but as far as this match goes, I thought it was a solid match from him, and enjoy seeing. I don't know. I was telling my cousin too. I feel like Deonna is the. I can't think of a good one now, but she's like the Brett of the division, and then Trinity's like the Cena. You know what I mean? Like it's that Trinity brings the pop, energy, the excitement, the stature, all of that stuff to it, and then Deonna's just that work rate. It's a nice flow. It's a nice flow. Does that? But does this? Two different eras, but I don't know, like a.
But how? Let's entertain the whole Deonna situation for a second. Like how you really feel. Do you think there's anything left for her to do? You know what I'm saying, within here, or
so? You're just asking me straight up? Do I think that's the question?
Yeah, straight up.
No. But I think in the grand scheme of things, my answer to be the only thing that she would have left to do is the same thing she can do when she comes back, if that is to be the case. I mean, after going on an excursion somewhere, is she's already helped build the foundation of what we will become in January. But with her contract running up literally right around the same time, part of her has to be like, damn, man, I just kind of want to be part of this thing. I kind of want to add to TNA legacy, but she could do that down the road if the WWE thing doesn't work out or whatever. Or it does, and she wants to come back.
The risk of... So, I mean, that's not saying if she goes to the E, she's not going to ball out, because I know in my heart of hearts, she has the full potential to go to the E and ball out. But say she does
cream rises to the crop, right? Cream rises to the top.
Yeah, say she does go, and then we do the same old song and dance, and it's like, in these couple years, bro, you could have been inching closer to Gail's record.
She's young still, and the way I look at that is you gotta check off that box in your head. She wanted to be there when the restrictions were there, and I mean by creative, and there's a ceiling for everybody. Now that person's gone who might have been putting that ceiling is gone, it has to be itching at people. Enticing. So yeah. I understand it. Once again, Gail left and tried it. We will welcome her back with open arms. But I think if she goes and it's a success and she eventually comes back, great. If she goes and it's not that whatever big of a success and she wants to come back, no one will bat an eye. It'll still be Deonna, and it'll actually give her that time away from it. Will then give her something to want to bite into with TNA. At least that's how I think about it. So we'll see. I think time sometimes builds it. A time apart builds more connection.
And I still don't feel, what I'm saying, speaking completely within kayfabe, honestly, not trying to, just for people to know that I'm not a fucking dweeb, but I feel like she didn't get a fair shake with the tag titles, because like around the time her and Chelsea did win the straps, the division was them and three different versions of Rosemary and Havoc. Right. So, I mean, at least, what I'm saying, if the whole thing with her and Tasha or her and whoever could work out, get another shot at that, what I'm saying? Or maybe here's where I start. Here's where I am a dweeb and start speaking my fantasy shit. My trios division, her, Moose, and Myers.
Yeah, the most professional virtuosos. Yeah, I mean, we could spin it all day, man. But I just think her tag team partner is Chelsea. So any person you're gonna have to build, the way. If I'm Impact Creative or management, whoever pitches her and says, hey, I think you could stick around and we'll put you with this person as a tag team. We'll build up your tag team to be something. We'll give you the whole package and then you guys win. I just don't see how that's as enticing as trying and getting a taste of something different. But we'll see. I'm not against her staying whatsoever. The problem is we got a lot of talent that we're starting to bring up. If it's Kylan, or it's, whoever else we're signing, Danny Luna, whatever. You got to have a place for everyone. And Deonna's a big star, man. So we'll see.
I mean, we can still, if we spitball and creative bullshit, explore the option of her and Macklin lining up on screen. Like, I feel like that'd be some interesting shit, no matter which way you want to spin it.
I just don't see how that's fun. That doesn't seem fun to me. I mean, like, I get it, but I think that's still waiting for her here, even if she tries. So I think you just got to wait out that way. To touch on the match really quick, though, I was saying this was probably the best match of the three Trinity matches. I agree. I like this one a lot. But last but not least,
I prefer the first one myself, just because the hype and the build and everything going into it. You know what I'm saying? And there wasn't the dilution of Gail as referee to kind of like bring us off from them two, but that's just me.
All right, I'll have to look bell to bell. I don't remember. I'd be lying to you. But last but not least is the main event. Will Ospreay picking up the victory over Eddie Edwards, and then oi bruv, he's taking the mic and he's gonna say he was a TNA kid, and so can you. And I thought it was pretty cool. I think our buddy Nixon hit on the head there. I think this was his polite way of saying, won't see you in February, but thanks for the memories, and I'll keep you guys in the back of my mind, because at the end of the day, you are what made me love wrestling. But overall, we'll get one more Ospreay match, right? We'll get him versus Josh at the Chicago tapings, which will be in November. But love the match.
I feel in my heart we'll see him in January.
Before his contract runs up in February? Yeah, it's possible.
I think we'll find a way to get one more out of him at Hard to Kill, and then if anything, that's the.
I think Hard to Kill makes a lot of sense. Let him get the TNA thing, but I'm sure we'll hit up in the comments. But I will say this before we talk about the match: do you want to be in TNA and emulate AJ, or do you want to go to WWE and wrestle AJ? And I think he would want to go to WWE and wrestle AJ. But with that being said, we'll talk. There's more in the comments.
I agree just off the fact of which one is easier to do time-wise, because we don't have that much time with AJ.
It's the same with Deonna. Go while you're young. Get what you want. Get your dream matches. Shoot for the stars. And then you still have time when your contract's up to say, you know what, I do want to go back, or I did make the wrong decision, or I do want to resign. So... But now's the time, yes. This window for wrestling AJ, for making it meaningful, and then to make some big money for him and his family is right now. So. But as far as that match, we both love Eddie, so this was a treat for me. But your thoughts on the match? Did it deliver what you anticipated it delivering?
Yeah, this was what I knew I was going to get into, considering these two. My best friend is going to bring it every night.
Is that Eddie?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think it was definitely a great outing. Eddie always puts out solid things. I would love to see, same what I said about Sammy, just one more just like fire, like get in shape, have great cardio, and just put on the best matches possible. I would love to see that out of Eddie. But I thought this was still damn good. And because it's here with Eddie. It's timing and knowledge and the little big things. He's smart. We could watch Eddie wrestle all 86 minutes, but of impact. No, anyways. But yeah, it was awesome to see Ospreay. Awesome to see Eddie in that main event, and I thought that was a nice way to cap it with the talking, because it wasn't look, Ospreay, if you watched his thing, press pass or whatever it was with Hannafan, he doesn't hold, if it's in character or not, doesn't hold any punches. He'll just say what he feels. So for him to take the mic and even if said, hey, will you say something, for him to put honesty behind it really drove it home. So I really dug that, man, and more power to him. But Lucha, overall, what'd you think of this show? I don't, it wasn't like our typical judging. It's hard to judge this. There may be
I mean, okay, so it was like you said, it was a good show, but it wasn't like the standard of Impact Plus shows, that we've set throughout the year. Like Victory Road was kind of like here. There was I didn't feel like there was too much canon progression.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This was more of a showcase for.
It's almost
because I almost called it like a Crown Jewel type event.
Okay.
But Crown Jewel had more build.
It's kind of like
it was
like when we used to do the thing when Scott and Don first came in, and it was like all those team ups with Defy or whoever it was. I can't think of them off the top of my head.
All the indie promos for the Twitch shows.
It's a UK one night only. That's what it feels like. But yes, the indie Twitch shows. That's what it felt like. Not in a bad way. This was obviously definitely. I mean, it had Ospreay on it for shits and for fuck's sake. But Trinity, Deonna. So we're on the same page. So I'm with you though. Are we? It's hard to judge it. I'm gonna go 7-7. I'm gonna go 7-7.
7 3/4.
Yeah, 7.75. So hey, so we're pretty 0.05 apart from each other. Pretty good. But what did you guys think? Let us know. I'm trying to read everything in there, but it seems smaller, or maybe my eyes are glazed. Lauren, I think giving you a compliment. We need TNA to pay Ospreay like TNA pays Lucha. TNAI pays Lucha for his expert advice and opinions. UK fans like no other. Both great points, Lucha.
You know, I get that 4 cents that I get from Scott D'Amore. You know what I'm saying? I negotiated for that shit.
Right. Maybe we'll get a boost in January. We'll see.
Let's go 7.
Let's go. We're going to do the TNAIW reaction comments, though. Let's hit them up. Lucha, I'll read through them as quick as I can. We'll both hit our points if we have any, or you could just give me a and we'll move on to from your point. But let's try to wrap this up. We'll keep it within the hour, we hope. Once again, thank you for rocking with us, guys. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Spread the word, and if it's not for us, spread the word for other Impact podcasts and creators. Let's grow this community. But let's start with our buddy Gary. TNA. So glad Leon Slater decided to cross the line and sign on Scott D'Amore's back. I agree. Sting agrees. Shadow Lane 99. Let me get these context. I think a big signing for the TNA debut would be great, but don't really know if they could sign the top free agents out there. I think it would be sick if they had awesome intros like they did in the past. That 2006 intro, which I still think is the most creative, and I still think Change Me is the best song they ever had. Lucha, do you agree with that? Change Me? Which one's that?
Change Me was Hogan's joint, the one during the Hogan era.
Blue in the Smoke.
Okay, 2 answers, because, I'm a kid who grew up on Raw having one theme song for the opener, but then when the show crows, it's a completely different joint.
Fair, yeah.
So for the sake of the opening video or whatever, Cross the Line is that shit.
Fair enough.
But when it comes to when you're going through the crowd and you got Mike Tenay running down what's going on, nothing hits like that 07. Like, so a combination of those for me. And as far as like the signings, I'm looking at this really like 06 TNA. You know what I'm saying? And looking at like roles to fill. Like we need a Sting, we need a Christian Cage, a Sting, a Kurt Angle.
Yeah. I was kind of, I know my talking and Treehouse kind of go all over the place, but that's one of the things I was mentioning is we still, no matter what happens, we'll have only the 86, 92, whatever minutes of television weekly.
Yeah.
So you have to make those roster spots make sense and do and check off a box. Like I said, we have the MK Ultra who are this of the Knockouts tag. We have Danny and Luna who could be this of the Knockouts tag. Jordan, you got to plug those whole PCO, and that's why we said for you it might not be your favorite, but as far as TNA goes and needing that guy who's the monster's ball or the monster, plop.
The Abyss guy. Yeah.
He fits that spot. So I agree with you. We need to pick and choose and be smart. And Scott, to his credit, has been saying that in the press passes or whatever you want to call them in the tours of just, the roster needs to be that perfect mix of, in synergy, but also fit in the locker room. So, do I think a big signing could happen? I do. I think they're winking towards a lot. Does any of it need to happen? I don't think so. I think the TNA buzz is a good place to start. Put our best foot forward on the first show like we always do regardless, but people are going to give it a chance because it has a different polish. It is what it is. But I want that signing to not be of Hogan-like proportions. It doesn't need to be swing on a millions of dollar guy. Let's get the most bang for our buck and make sure they plug a hole where we need them. But when it comes to the UK show, it had a few good matches, but it really wasn't exciting as I thought it'd be. Sort of The crowd was fantastic, though, which was nice. I thought the place they were at and the camera angle made the episode feel like it was at a bingo hall in the UK. Fair. I know they're on a budget, clearly not as big as WWE or AEW, but it just came off looking way too cheap. Hopefully this isn't the look they're going with the new TNA. Well, come on, man. You think this is the look they're going for the new TNA?
They already said, they're gonna strip some shit down for the sake of the big upgrade or whatever. So It's like knowing that bigger things are ahead, as long as they don't hit a certain low,
right?
Just be patient.
That's the case, and we would be the first ones to point it out. Maybe we would also maybe we'd also say see the silver lining. We could do both sides of this, but the side right now is when they say, "Hey, we're upgrading our production facility. We're planning on a whole reboot coming this January." Let's chill out. And that last shot is, come on, you're smarter than that. What's your name this week? Shadow Lane 99. All right, next up, Skies Blur 23. Spider-Man meme. I think they need a new set. It doesn't have to be the tunnel, but something visually interesting. Also, production needs to be improved as well. It has to
be the tunnels. We campaigned too hard for that.
Sell us our tunnels back. Yeah, the Sabata Foundation. Yeah, look. So it doesn't need to be the tunnels. I will embrace it if it looks cool. But I think broken brick with a tunnel coming through it, keep it, have some screens and stuff cool, but very low-key ECW kind of small. I just want it to look like an impact zone.
Give me lasers and I'll shut the fuck up.
There you go. It doesn't need to be the impact zone. Pyro.
Just give me lasers and I'll shut the fuck up.
I just want a definitive look was my point. But I think that the tunnel speaks to all different. The same with the belts. Give me some history, but give me some future. There could be a nice blend there. Also, production needs to be improved as well. If it's just the same set and same production, then what's the point of rebranding? Correct. Slater is a good signing. No, I'll be correct. Slater is a good signing. He has that Swanton 450, which is cool. It was. So what's up with Myron Reed? Is he signed or was that just a random appearance? I don't know anything about that. Lucha, you've seen about 72 Myron Reed has crossed the line demo things I've made. So hopefully we can use one eventually. But we do know the tapings are out of order, so let's wait and see. Really quick about your stuff. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but we know that this is coming. We know that production upgrade's coming. We know that the new set's coming. Scott said all this, and if this is the first time you're hearing, I apologize, but they're not just, let's bank on TNA and just shit the bed for the rest of the year,
Yeah, no.
But what's your, do you have some on Myron Reed, or are you just hoping he comes?
I've seen Myron Reed at a few WrestleCades he's pulled up at, and I think he even did a DPW show I went to out here, and I've seen him on MLW a lot, and he looked like a dude where I was like, if you take him from when I saw him, which was like 2018, if you take him from 2018 and put him in 2007, he fits perfectly. So I've always wished he would pull up. So the fact that he is going to pull up and we're going to see him whenever in the past / future at the same time. I'm hyped for it, especially with the Rascals.
I think it's inevitable, pun intended. Obviously, I think it's that he'll show up. Is it just at the tapings? We'll see, but we'll see what that launches him into. I think it'll give it away. I don't think they'll just be in a random match, but maybe not. Dobby the Brain Heenan and Scott already said they're definitely doing a stage, and he did hint that there might be some callback to the tunnels. IO saying 69 days, folks. Let Scott cook, and Jeff just said. A big star, in my opinion, of the icing on the cake, the whole cake, so to speak. And not the whole cake, so to speak. Everything going forward is going to be amazing for Impact and fans. I do think we're going to get some surprises, though. I think that's the smarter thing. If you tell me you can sign I don't want to say Dolph, because I would really like Dick Zipper to come into the Impact Zone. But
it hit the zip zap.
And hit the zip zap with the show closure to close the show. I would love that. But if you tell me I can get and I know this is not how it works, but a Christopher Daniels run-in, this person, an Amazing Red appearance, an AMW appearance, and get all that for the same price on the TNA debut, I'd like to see that. It doesn't need to be all nostalgia. I'm just giving you some hints. But yes, I would love to see re-debuts or re-signings or whatever pop up on this show. It doesn't look like it's going to be live because Hard to Kill's on a Saturday. Someone help me out here.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if it's kept a secret. Now, here would be no spoilers. So, next up, Demon Better 99. Thank you, by the way. I scoff at some of you guys. I apologize. Skies Blurs 23. And, I missed one. Millard saying, yes, Jeff, Alex Winter is Will Ospreay's girlfriend. Thanks, buddy. That was from last week. Shadow Lane 99 as well. Thank you. All right, Demon Better 99. I don't think TNA needs a lot of signings, just a few solid signings like Leon Slater, talented wrestlers that can become stars in TNA. I doubt Punk will sign with TNA, but Ospreay and a Mercedes signings would be really great for TNA. But even if they can't sign them, now bring in a Mandy Rose. I mean, it obviously depends on if she wants to wrestle, but for a new rebranding, why not go edgier route? I agree with that. Scott saying as much as well, gonna go full steam. I don't know Mandy Rose, but I get the point. Also, the entrance needs to have a newer, more professional look. I do hope that Harley actually gets to be on TNA TV. The only Gutcheck winners I remember were Alex Silva, which he didn't do much of anything, and recently Jackson Stone, who's not done much of anything either. Jay Bradley, Joey Ryan.
He didn't win, remember?
Oh, he didn't. That's right. Yeah.
And that was the controversy.
Hey,
so speaking of people since so many people are talking about sets, let's fantasy real quick. Pause. Yeah. How would you feel about the double-sided joints coming back?
Jeff, the fan, the Mark, love it. Heels, faces, let's go. Jeff, the realist, who knows that they're not going to waste arena space because they're looking for new venues, cooler looks. I don't think they're going to make it. They're going to do that. I think that I'd rather have them buy one, make it look really nice and put all the effort into that, and then put some other things around the Impact Zone, Trons and brick and different little things to make it look, every place they go, look well. But I don't know. But I'm not, if someone said, hey, here's $5 million, what would you want? Hell yeah, I want two. Of course I want two. Fuck. What kind of question? No, yeah. All right. Thank you, Demon Better. Appreciate that. And I'm sorry about my temperament. It's just a lot of things, and I'm sure there's more going to come up. The one things I do see or hear, in the negative spin, is if it's like, well, they need to do this, they need to do that. I think they know, okay. And I think they're going to take care of it. Let's see what they do. This isn't a sign of it what it is. We know what's. We could talk about that after January 13th.
We'll get right on that.
There we go. Trent Hatchet 9778. Impact should try to sign Hammerstone if he can get out of his MLW contract. Gary saying yes. I am not too familiar besides the look in some matches randomly, but talented dude. What I know is he's stuck in the contract, wants to get out, but can't. So, Lucha, do you know a lot about him? Your thoughts on him?
I'm about where you are as far as knowledge on him and impression, So, because I've seen probably about the same amount you have. But if you give me a choice, red pill, blue pill, and I gotta pick either get Hammerstone or go and get the Fatus that were in MLW, and fucking. And I know people are going to scoff at it, but I don't give a fuck. Have a TNA version of the Bloodline, especially with Trinity there.
You lost me. I don't want anything.
If there's anything I have faith in, is that they would make that decent. The reveal or the debut at the very least will be like, oh shit.
Next week, EY will be in the ring with a bunch of fans around him, going like this with the beard and.
No, I don't think we need to go that far, man.
We went there. No, you went there.
I did. I've since kind of pulled back. I just want him to be funny at the very least.
Yeah, fair.
Just be fun.
Here's our buddy Chris Zaletta. Solid reaction
Keep
show,
your
brother.
fucking pants on.
Appreciate the shutout. I agree on Ospreay and possibly being down to 2.5 options mentioned. I don't think Heath returns to WWE. I'm looking forward to this joint show with AAA. I agree. I hope Heath does get to go if that's his intention, though. Chris also following up. Honestly, I say let's roll out another Our World Changes video for Hard to Kill, especially with the pool of talent available. I say it's 50-50 still with Deonna. I'm wondering about Mickey's future as well. Both of them on the header, I must say that. I'm cool with Our World Changes. The problem is I don't want us to get so absorbed in the surprise factor, because when that first episode hits, I think we're going to be looking at, oh shit, new entryway. Oh shit, new mat. Oh, different production. There's going to be so many things that we're excited to look at. And then on top of that, we have our roster and who's going to be in the roster. I don't think surprises really needs to sell that home. I think it might actually even kind of fall with all the stuff going on. But yes, one good one would help the night. I don't know. I think we talked about that enough. We got a big roster still, and we don't even know who's going to be part of it. That's the thing is, Scott's saying that as well. There's going to be some shakeup there. So
yeah, so I mean, there's possibility, you know what I'm saying, for there to be like a gang of surprises, you know what I'm saying, because with there being so much turnover. But like I said, I'm more focused on people like filling roles. Like we need the cat who should have been more of a focus, or who could have been more of a focus, like Christian Cage was. We got the cat who's been in the game for a while and has got the age and the wisdom that he can pass down, and then you got the cat that's in their prime, like Angle. You know, as long as we just fill those roles, and if we already got them, cool. Yeah, that's just the thing, is making sure that those spots are set if we're gonna go TNA.
And that's the thing, is I think we have so much talent. I mean, we have Josh in the tagging with EY. We have Moose tagging with Myers. We have all these guys who could, you know, be the stars. Macklin is
our world champion tagging with the ex-champion.
Right. There you go. So we have so much talent that I would love to see on the show first. Yes, I definitely want a nice surprise would be cool. But that first TNA on Access TV or whatever it's going to be, Impact on Access TV still, I guess.
TNA Access.
I just want to see what the presentation of each character is. Who is Moose in TNA? Who is ABC in TNA? I just want to see where they go, because this is kind of a clean slate. I'm guessing we're going to have some storylines obviously leading up to Hard to Kill, but after that
it's still going to be business as usual for the most part.
Right, but it's going to be a new a restart, I think, in my head. So, or at least an episode where you can prove to a lot of people that you could tell a story. And maybe that's a bigger thing. I'm not saying aces and eights, but that kind of type of moment at to end a show or begin, whatever it is on that first TNA episode, I would rather see that. I'd rather see a perfectly executed, enthralling storyline, cliffhanger, than I would just Cult of Personality. Well,
so you would, instead of the feeling of, okay, so this is all completely new and oh my god, you would prefer the reaction, not for you per se, but like for the outsider who's watching it for the first time, you would prefer them to say, oh, so this is what they've been cooking this whole time.
I would start with that, because you want to show what you already brought you to the table to a lot of fans who've been rocking with you even when we've been shit on. So I think you want to start with that. You want to show the foundation that you've already built. You want to, not let the new entryway, the new production spit shine on things, the new logo, all that. You don't want to just kind of that be background thought. You want to, I don't know. I think when you do too much, especially to a new viewer, some things get lost in the shuffle. So I'd rather us start off, put a great show on, and then pepper in some things when we need a little boost than just come out balls to the wall with everything. But who knows? We'll see, man. Jamie, stay ready. Saying Josh and EY should team should be a team bro since Josh is out of the title scene. Fine with that. Let's start this up. I don't know if that's where it'll permanently end up, but
Maple Leaf Mafia.
Right, there you go. Josh in the G1 New Japan would be put TNA and him over even more. Hell yeah.
Facts.
Let's get it going. Jamie Stay Ready again saying, I see Trey versus Swan feud brewing because that finish at TP was controversial. I hope Myers breaks out in 2024. Dude deserves it. Yeah, man. All these people, and that's another thing is, would I love a new person to come in and be a great addition? Of course. But do I want to see a Moose and Myers shine apart and together? Yes. Do I want to see Ace and Bay do the same thing? Yes. Macklin. There's all these other talented dudes that I want to break out and carve a niche for themselves in this new TNA, because it's for a lot of people it's going to be it's a new slate. So, and last but not least, Millard in the chat as well. Thank you guys, whoever's in there. Dobby the Brain Io, Parkside, which is Millard, which is this, and there was some other ones up there. So thank you.
Which is this
guy. With Impact getting so much good feedback from wrestling community, it's a shame that worthless pieces of crap, like Russo, Bischoff, and Cornette, have a shit on them. I'm very excited about Impact TNA's future. I still expect a few names coming into the company next couple months. P.S. Another great reaction show. Thank you, buddy. Worthless piece of crap. An eye for an eye ends up with the whole world blind. I like at least one thing Russo, Bischoff, and Cornette each have done. And I still do. At the end of the day, I want you to think about it from a different perspective. Not that this matters, but all of those people have skin in the game of controversy creating cash. They need to have takes that either ruffle feathers or excite people, so they're gonna generally shit on stuff that gets them some clicks and have a controversial take. So I really don't care about their opinion per se. I think we go through a list of negatives that they've produced over the years. So I think, not anyone's perfect. But also we're talking about 50, 60-year-old dudes who might not have their finger on the pulse. Anyways, your thoughts on other people like that sticking up and saying, or standing up and talking shit. It's kind of it, right? They just...
I don't even necessarily... they're right and wrong at the same time. Because, they're pretty much saying you don't want to just slap the TNA logo on everything and march out the same old shit.
Is that what they're saying essentially? I haven't heard
that. As a general consensus that I get from it, it's like they're basically like, you can't just put lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But, they're going too wild.
Yeah, I see.
With their opinion in the matter.
See, I don't know. For me, I just chalk it up to them just wanting to get something out there. It's a popular or not a popular opinion to go to TNA, mostly popular. So either way, you're going to drive the interest of people wanting to click to hear these people. Bad takes, good takes, whatever it may be. RVD even saying the same thing. Can't put lipstick on it. That's fair. The problem is it's not a pig. It's a very talented product that just needed a little polish to get to the masses. And I think that's what we're doing. And one thing that the same people who talk about, it's only nostalgia. It's just nostalgia. What they are spending to do the facility, the production facility, even if that doesn't go hand in hand, what it costs to put a new logo of TNA, what it costs to change the turnbuckles, the apron, what it costs to build a new set, all this stuff is tons cheaper than buying into one wrestler you think is going to save the day and be your white knight in shining armor. Okay, everything they're doing is an investment to create buzz, because when a wrestler comes in, you get buzz for a little bit, and where does it go? They're not spending anything to make... I just think it's an organic and smart way to say, hey, look, we already have the great product. We're going to clean it up a little bit even more, and we're going to go balls to the wall in the new year. I don't know. I don't think it's we're just sitting back kind of thing. But I think when your option is throw money at wrestler and hope it creates a buzz, or just spit shine what we've done and unite a lot of people. I don't know. Your thoughts on that? I don't think it's a nostalgia ploy, is my point.
I don't think it is either. I mean, I personally feel like it was more so if we need to take that. I'm still sticking to what Jordan said in the video. In order for us to move forward, we got to move backwards a little bit.
Yep. Yeah.
And really, that's it. I feel to go deeper. I feel like TV meetings or whatever. People were like, "Well, Impact Wrestling doesn't have much value. TNA does.
Right.
So maybe y'all should think about that." And maybe hearing that too many times was like, man, fuck it.
Look, at the end of the day, they should be in the business of connecting individuals, because those connected individuals will all okay each other to buy the product, to buy the merch, to talk about it, to spread the... And if just putting a little nostalgia on it allows people to do that and stand in the UK or in Mexico in a few weeks or wherever it is, whenever we go there, or Canada back to the US, and chant TNA loudly to fill in the gaps of when it's might be quiet, it adds to the product. So you're literally, it's just a smart gamble that obviously is really paying off. The buzz is there, and it's not like they signed a $5 million player. They literally changed their logo.
It's not like we're going back to TNA with the 2016 roster.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I get, some people also have to stay their ground because they can't admit they were wrong, or that it's going to be something good, because if it's bad, it's easier to say, "Oh, see, I told you it was going to be bad," So there are going to be people like that. And I want you guys, just as we end this, just to remember that, there's going to be people that have different takes for different reasons. Some of it's not even what they really believe. It's just they know what they know could get likes, clicks, buzzed, retweets, whatever. And I think this is the time, especially now that we're all embracing the name for the most part, is that we all just embrace it and retweet and like and prop up and stand tall and chant TNA, man. I think that's the only thing that cures us and adds to the riffraff, I guess.
As a fan, and me seeing the people who work for this company be so hype and so excited and so ready, that shit's gonna translate in the ring. You just know it is, which is gonna make us even happier. Yeah. So that's what I'm like focusing on, as far as
that's another thing you can't buy, man. And if you do it, obviously you can buy them great catering. You could buy them all new cars. You could obviously pay them more to get that. But to just do something as far as embracing your identity, and for your roster to blow up in excitement over that, it speaks volumes, man. And the internet did as well. So if you're part of it, be part of it. Don't worry about anyone else. Eventually they're going to jump on the train as well. And if they don't, then let them enjoy what else is out there. Not everyone has to enjoy what we enjoy, but I from the looks of it, we're going to be in a great place in 2024. And
all I gotta say is, it just seems like there's an opening right now.
Hey, I told you this a few months back. I think we talked about it. And I said, I feel like in the rest of the world, I want everyone to succeed, but the bottom's falling out on other companies, and the ceiling's getting hit in other companies. So it doesn't mean we're going to be number 2 or number 1. No. But can we this is the time for us to take a chance and carve out our own niche. And I really think that is the ECW of 2023, 2024, and so on. Could it be bigger than that and more stable than that? Of course. And it will be. But this is the right thing. I don't even want to say buying, but we're creating buzz. We're creating a cool factor. And that's what you want to be part of. And I remember there was a time, man, where this video remains in my head, when Trevor Lee was at I don't even know what it was, someone's vlog or something stupid back in the day. And they said to him that, he's like, Impact doesn't have any buzz. And Trevor Lee just looks so broken. Like, he's like, I worked there. Why would you say that? And I was like,
hey, bro, I'm right here.
But it was the truth. And I feel like today we are in a complete different place. So kudos to everyone that's put in the work to do that. Kudos to everyone who is a fan and has been chanting, despite whatever we've gone through. I thank you guys. I thank you for watching us, hitting like and subscribe, sticking with us, checking out everything else on this channel, including TNA One Night Only a 2-episode thing with LO Trinity. Comes out this Tuesday, starts this Tuesday. And of course, Go Power Rankings after that. Check out everyone else in the world creating Impact/TNA content. And let's ride this Phoenix through the... I don't got anything. What do you got, Lucha?
My man was stumbling to the finish line.
Yeah, per usual.
You know, the usual. Shout out to the Diamond Villains. Shout out to the homies. Shout out to Mike G. Shout out to the homies. Shout out to Impact. Shout out to TNA.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
That felt better.
There you go.
You see the smile that generated from me being like...
From the locker room to us to the UK fans... Buy in, people. Buy in. I bought in.
I ain't saying drink the Kool-Aid, but we passing you the joint. You gotta hit.
Yeah. TNA is back. Clink.
We're fucking back.
Bink. All right. Guys, thank you. Catch Lucha all over the channel. But we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for coming out. God bless and good night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
TNAIW, we are nonsense.